Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here. A historical subject that I'm intensely interested in because I'm really interested in the early church is what was Roman Christianity like in the first couple centuries. And so this is considered to be one of the definitive accounts of what Roman Christianity was like. So I was excited to get it. It's put out by Fortress Press. I'll show you the back. Very well done, by the way. The dust jacket, all of this, just extremely well done. But I was a little disappointed in that I think it took sometimes too much of just the standard line, just believe things, and didn't look at original sources so much. And maybe I'll try to explain what I mean by that. But this is by Peter Lampe. And Peter Lampe, here's who is a professor of New Testament at the University of Heidelberg, Germany. Is the author of Commentary on Philemon in Das Neue Testament Durch series, 1998. You know, I really like, you can tell when people are real scholars because they don't say, I graduated from Cambridge, I graduated from Harvard, I've got 2 PhDs. Once you can just say your name and where you teach, it just kind of self-explanatory. So I haven't read this whole book yet. I was reading through the burial places of the ancient Romans and all of the catacombs and all this. Well, see, I was looking for like Northcote Sabellian catacombs in Rome, and I couldn't find anything. And it was like, well, that's kind of strange. And so when I got to Sabellianism on pages 345, 349, modalistic monarchianism, I was just a little disappointed. I did get a good quote by Origen, basically confirming that modalistic monarchianism was the original faith, and most people believed it, just like, here it is, 349 and 50, Praxeas Gaius and the problem of Hippolytus. That just like Tertullian said, the common people, their rule of faith, believe oneness, you know, and all this, that Origen says much the same thing. Origen Adjumentius, who was that arch heretic, even kicked out of the Catholic Church. So got things like that. And so just look, talked a little bit about the Quartodeciman controversy, not a lot about Jesus' name baptism and baptismal controversies. So, you know, he kind of takes unlike Der Paradoxine and other mainstream, Harnack, even he quotes Harnack a lot, that modalistic monarchianism is a heresy, not the earliest Christianity. But it does, I mean, here's some interesting information. Let me just read this to you. Okay, the fictitious Acts of the Apostles, a typical popular, entertaining, and edifying literature, represents a Christology tinged with a modalistic monarchianism. And that's Henneck and Schleiermacher, not Schleiermacher. Okay, and then it goes into Tertullian versus Praxeas, the simplistic doctrine. So, I mean, it goes into it quite a bit. Okay, similarly, Origen, and it looks like John, Commentaries 2:3, the great masses who are considered believers know nothing other than the crucified Jesus Christ and hold this incarnate logos for the totality of divinity. Kind of like, for in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. And we're complete in him. So, you know, it's good, and I've learned some things, and I've gotten some good information. I always enjoy going to the bibliographies because you can find so many other books that lead you to where you need to go. And then you realize that unless you live in the Biltmore house, you don't have a home big enough to house all the books you need, and you don't have money enough. You know, people, I used to tell people if I had about $4 million, I could begin to get all the books I feel I need to do adequate research. And then you get to be like 52, like I am, turn 53 next month, that you realize you're going to die before you can get all this information out. Unless by the help of God, and you're like Jacques Barzon, still writing in your 90s or something. And hope I'm not like Murray Rothbard, another one of my favorite writers in certain realms. But anyhow, be that as it may, So from Paul to Valentinus, now of course we know Valentinus is the arch Gnostic who wrote on the three natures, and he is the first person that ever referred to God, the Christian God, as three hypostases. And he was a Gnostic. And then it goes into Tertullian. He was the first that in Latin referred to God as una substantia in tres personae, and one God in three persons, or three substances. Theophilus of Antioch would have been the first one that used the word in a Christian sense of Trinitas in about 180. I like it when they say, no, it was 179. It's obviously what you're trying to do is make it as early as possible. You're still several decades removed from the death of the last apostle. So God bless. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.